I've heard some differing stuff about twin flame. I didn't mean to cut you off, Sharon.
No, please go.
So beautiful.
I was going to talk about
because a lot of people will conflate twin flame with soulmate, and I've heard twin flame is something more of it's a person that's just like you. So actually, oftentimes you repel that person, and one person ends up in this situation where they're like lovesick, and then the other person is just sick of that person because of where they're at.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So you've opened up a really good discussion point. I think there's so many inversions around what the twin flame template is. Okay. So in my particular case, I was having a little bit of a joke there, kind of. In a year and a half, I was presented with 3 extremely intense soul connections. And they weren't real love. They were wound mates. They were people there to show me that I was looking outside myself. Like they just had the frequency of God. They have a frequency that makes people, it's almost like a heroin addiction. It feels like you're stuck on them. This is also very reminiscent of a narcissistic and empath relationship where a narcissist.
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
I know.
Anyway, go ahead.
And where that narcissistic, it's like almost got the hooks in you, and your journey is to get the hooks out, really. Now, there's an old shamanic saying, and it says, the man says to the shaman, well, how will I know my ally? And the shaman says, well, that's easy. He'll be the one who tries to kill you. So I just got covered in motherfucking shivers. So that is the way I live my life. I don't look at any of those soul connections as bad. I believe those men were vital and pivotal in my growth journey. I have forgiveness for every single one of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I concur.
So this is again, it's a mindset switch. And though the victim is an important part of the healing process, it certainly is. And so is anger. I mean, there were moments where I was screaming, like when the last one came in, I was like, not again. I'm not even doing anything. They just turn it up. Like I literally would like be at my house and like next thing I know, like a guy's in my field and I'm reactivated, but it's just telling me that I have a huge amount of power and a humongous abandonment wound. And if I can heal that on behalf of the collective, that means anybody can heal it. And it just brings me like, I'm going to cry. Like it brings me such joy because I will go to the depths of hell and back if it means helping as many people get out of those terrible relationships and more the divorce. It's just too much for me. And so I'm happy. I almost say like, give me another. I'm happy to take whatever it is that I need to take to prove this magnitude of power that comes with true love. Love is the highest frequency. It always will be. So when we cut people off, when we shut them out, we're simply shutting out a piece of ourselves. It doesn't matter if that person is the biggest asshole or not. People don't like to hear that. They're like, oh, but he treated me bad. It doesn't matter. You're going to repeat the same lesson. You need to heal yourself. Take the time to heal. Block if you need to while you're healing, and then open the channel back up. It doesn't mean you have to have them over for dinner and cookies. It simply means you want to keep your energetic frequency and heart space like a Care Bear open to the entire world. And then people just resonate away. So I have watched, like, I've had moments in my business where I have had intuitive guidance that somebody is not quite right in my business, twice with an employee. And I ignored it both times. And both times I kept my heart open and both times they left. So it's just, there are moments where you have to make an aligned decision that comes in the journey, but it's just, that's one way that a twin flame helps you. It's like a wound mate. Another way, a twin flame, there are 144,000 twin flames on this planet. They're coming together, whether you call them twin flames or divine union couples, it doesn't really matter. It's simply someone that looks like you, but is exactly the opposite. But like you guys have enough in common, but you're also opposite. It's like kind of amazing. And maybe Sharon, that's something you can resonate with.
Absolutely.
And you have to reach a level of clearing. And then the advice to maintain that relationship is to constantly go in and clear. Put growth first, not pleasure. Put growth first, not expectation. Once we start expecting him to change for our greater good, it doesn't work. It's emasculating and it's really none of your business really. And I'm trying to say that as nicely as I can, but everybody's a sovereign being, and it's the design of getting two sovereign beings together to co-create with growth at the forefront.
Absolutely. And I can resonate with what you just said about don't change anybody, because I had to come to that realization after the 8-year relationship I had with this man who was I'm just going to say the word he was a narcissist. And it was very painful, but over time, I learned to accept him where he was and just let him be.
Yeah.
And then I was able to leave him.
That's it.
And then, and so as I grew in my ability to, recognize what love truly is, which is to just let people be who they are, let them be themselves, then I could just be friends with everybody and anybody, right? I could just be friends with them and let them be. Like, I'm not going to tell them how to live their life and what to do. I live my life, they live theirs. And I just knew that at some point I was going to meet that man who was going to be right at my level.
Yeah.
And we were going to both be that way. And I've been talking to him, and his name's Cody. And I've been talking to him, and we've talked about these things. He'll say he has already said something to me like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel that way," when he's told me a story of something, right? And I'm like, no, it's not. I think I'm healing wounds from the past by the story that you told me, or whatever you just said, that triggered some old wound here that I just need to learn to heal and let go of. So it's not you. Don't apologize for yourself or what you've done or what you've said or whatever. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything bad. It's just me used to something that maybe triggered a wound in me, and I just have to heal from that. And if you want to be patient with me, so be it. And he wants to,
Good. Beautiful. That's really good.